Page 38. Beyond Death, Dan Cohn-Sherbok and Christopher Lewis, 1995. Theological and Philosophical Reflections on Life After Death. Part 1. The Afterlife and the World's Religions. Chapter 2. Go Joyfully, The Mystery of Death and Resurrection. 2.4. 100 times finer and more subtle. There remains a question that in our present state of knowledge is unanswerable, and yet it is often asked. We have said that the human person was originally created by God as an undivided unity of body and soul, and that we look, beyond the separation of the two at bodily death, to their ultimate reunification on the last day. A holistic anthropology commits us to believing, not merely in the immortality of the soul, but in the resurrection of the body. Since the body is an integral part of the total human person, any immortality that is to be fully personal must needs involve body as well as soul. What, in that case, is the relationship between our present body and our resurrection body in the age to come? At the resurrection, shall we have the same body as we do now, or will it be a new body? Perhaps the best response is to say, it will be the same body, and yet not the same. Christians sometimes understand the bodily resurrection in a crude and narrow sense. They imagine that the material elements constituting each body, which have been dissolved and scattered at death, will be somehow gathered together once more at the last day, so that the reconstituted body contains exactly the same minute fragments of matter as it had before. But those who affirm a continuity between our present body and our body on the last day are not necessarily committed to such a literal-minded view as this. Saint Gregory of Nyssa, for example, in his works on the creation of the human person and on the soul and resurrection, suggests a more discriminating and imaginative approach. The soul, he maintains, imparts to the body a distinctive eidos or form, marking the body with its own special imprint or seal, although in this instance the seal is imposed not from the outside but from within. It is by virtue of this imprint that the body of each person expresses that person's character or inner spiritual state. During the course of our earthly life, the physical constituents making up our body change many times over, yet because the form or seal imprinted by the soul possesses an unbroken continuity throughout all these physical changes, our body may truly be said to remain the same. There is a genuine bodily continuity, because there is a continuity in the form imparted by the soul. As C.S. Lewis puts it, my form remains one, though the matter in it changes continually. I am, in that respect, like a curve in a waterfall. At the final resurrection, Gregory continues, what will happen is that the soul will imprint upon our risen body the same seal or form as it possessed previously during this present life. There is no need for the identical fragments to be reassembled. It is sufficient that there should be the same seal, and this will be enough to ensure that it is the same body. Between our present and our resurrection body there will indeed be a true continuity, yet there is no need to interpret this continuity in naively materialistic fashion. Nevertheless, although it will in this way be the same body as previously, it will also be different. In St. Paul's words, it is sown a physical, or natural, psychikon, body, it is raised a spiritual body, 1 Cor 15:44. Spiritual here is not to be taken to signify non-material. The resurrection body will still be a material body, but it will at the same time be transformed by the power and glory of the Spirit, and so released from all the limitations of materiality such as we know it at this present moment. As things now are, we experience the material world and our own material bodies solely in a fallen state, and it lies largely beyond the power of our imagination to conceive the characteristics that matter will possess in an unfallen world. We can only guess dimly at the transparency and vivacity, at the lightness and sensitivity, with which our resurrection body, at once material and yet spiritual, will be endued in the age to come. In the words of Strita from the Syrian, d. 373, consider the man in whom there dwelt a legion of all kinds of devils, Mark 5-9, they were there though they were not recognized, for their army is of stuff finer and more subtle than the soul itself. That whole army dwelt in a single body. 100 times finer and more subtle is the body of the just when they are risen. At the resurrection, it resembles a thought that is able, if it wills, to stretch out and expand, or, should it wish, to contract and shrink. If it shrinks, it is somewhere. If it expands, it is everywhere. The spiritual beings, in paradise, are so refined in substance that even thoughts cannot touch them. That is perhaps as good a description of the resurrection glory as we can expect to find. Let us leave the rest to silence. What we will be has not yet been revealed. 1 John 3-2. You are the music. 2 weeks before his death, Ralph Vaughan Williams was asked what the future life meant to him. Music, he said, music. But in the next world I shan't be doing music, with all the striving and disappointments. I shall be being it. You are the music while the music lasts, says T.S. Eliot. And in heaven the music lasts forever. Page 41.